Hi everyone, sorry about that. Probably didn't even matter if I let it keep running. Just thinking of upload time though, it can take like 3 hours. It might take 4 if I kept on going. So I don't know. This page, oh, it meant so much to me. So Tony contacted me through my shop to buy some Happy Mail, quite a while ago now, and we struck up a bit of a friendship through that, and so we're keeping on emailing each other back and forth from then on. And one of the emails that she sent me, she said this, and I might just read it out because it meant so much. I might just skip over some bits, but I watched your latest video. I think I watched all of them, maybe missed a couple, but I love that you're so excited. One thing I have noticed, you apologise a lot for running too long, being boring, not being creative enough, or to someone's taste. One thing I've learned in my life, people either care or they don't. They aren't going to sit and watch your whole video if they aren't into it. Talk to the ones that are. You have lots of people that just love what you do. Don't say sorry to anyone for being your true self ever. You're an encourager and a giver, no doubt. Be strong and stand there. Know that if they aren't into you or what you're saying, someone is. Talk to the ones that love to listen to you, your stories, your dreams, your generosity. That suits you very well. I think you were just lovely, and I'm not sorry about that at all. When I read this, tears came to my eyes because I was convicted in that moment. And good tears, not bad tears at all. And I felt God speaking to me through Tony's words. And I've told her all this, and we chatted about this, and I asked her permission to share this, and she said, that's cool. So what it spoke to me about it was just a very timely reminder that I was slipping into old habits of people-pleasing again. So some of you know my background with depression and anxiety, which I went through a few years ago. The reason I went through that struggle was because I tried to please so many people, and it just made me so anxious because I was trying to please everyone, and it felt like I was just so worried about everyone's expectations, their opinions, and being liked by everyone. And when you do that, eventually you break. And I realised when Tony was just saying, stop apologising, because I was worrying about being boring and not being creative and not being like other people and trying to please people and trying to please everyone. That's what I realised I was doing. I was falling back into old habits and trying to make my YouTube videos, like in the back of my mind, this is what I was thinking, but I didn't know it until she bring it back into consciousness, was that I was trying to make my videos be liked by everyone, and that's just not going to happen, and that's okay. Not everyone's going to like my style. That's okay. Not everyone's going to like the stories I share. That's okay. Not everyone's going to understand what I do, or my values, or my beliefs, or whatever, what I like, what I love. And it just reminded me, it's all okay. It doesn't matter. All I need to do is just be me, share what I do, and people can take it or leave it. And it's not up to me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect my worth. It doesn't affect my own value. I'm still loved just as I am. And so that's why I was crying, because it kind of brought up those memories of depression and anxiety. And I will not go back there. That's the thing. And so that was just a very timely reminder. So now that I can just go, hey, this is what I do. I love to junk journal. And this is why I do it. And whoever watches, and whoever doesn't, that's fine with me. So it was just, very meaningful to me. And thank you, Tony, for that, because I think it would take a lot of, courage to share that with someone, because you're not sure how they're going to respond and stuff. So, but yeah, I was so thankful, and just God was using you, Tony, to speak to me. So thank you so much for your courage and your love and your care to do that for me. So yeah, and then on this side, so that was the note that she wrote me, or the email, and that's just the details about it, like the date and everything. And then this part, I needed extra space to write about all that, just what I told you about what it meant to me. And yeah, so thank you. I can't thank you enough. And yeah, well, Tony actually bought one of my journals, the peacock one. So I kind of put this one as a memorial as well, a tribute to her. And I just hope she absolutely loves it. And yes, so that leads into this page, which is about the peacock. This is why I love junk journaling, right? I stuck in actual like feathers. These ones I picked up, like they're real feathers, these ones, just out of my day. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's quite, like, it just looks great. But look at these lines. They're actually shimmery blues and greens. It's not going to show up on camera, but very shimmery blues and greens, just subtle blue and green. Same kind of blues and greens as this, but just subtle. And what I want to say about this feather, so what happened was, I was on my way to my car and I just looked down at the ground and I saw this grey feather and I'm like, oh, that's a boring feather. You know, because it's just grey, whatever. And then for some reason, I don't know why, but I bent down to have a closer look. Like, I don't know why. And when I had a closer look, I saw those beautiful blue and green colours, which are my favourite colours. And it just was like, oh wow, that's a really pretty feather. I love those colours. So I picked it up and kept it. But the main reason I did that was because it taught me in that moment, you know, that whole thing of, okay, for me, everything speaks to me, and this is what I love. I love learning from everything and seeing beauty everywhere and learning from so many different things. But anyway, what this spoke to me about was we can be so quick to judge or so quick to assume that something has nothing to offer. And we can so quickly just take things for granted. But if you just take the time to look closer and look deeper, you're going to find so much treasure, so much beauty, and just so much goodness. And that's just what this one little feather taught me. And that can apply to anything. People. I especially believe it about people. We can dismiss people so quickly and be like, oh yeah, whatever. Cool. And just know them at surface level. But once you get to know them and their stories and why they are who they are and those kind of things, you realize there is so much more to this person and that they have so much to offer. And you can learn so much from them. And anything, like whatever it is in life, if you look closer, I'm sure you'll find something good to come out of that thing, whatever it is. So that just reminded me, take the time, look closer, look deeper. Otherwise you're missing out on some treasures. So these ones I stuck in here just because I love the peacock. And mostly because of the colours, because these are my colours. And again, not sure you can see that, but these colours, look at how vibrant they are. That's just my favourite. Look at that. So pretty. Oh, I just love looking at that so much. Ah, this one's not as pretty, but because it's like this fluoro green, but it's still from a peacock and just so vibrant and iridescent and shimmery and pretty, and it just like amazes me that a bird or something from nature or whatever can look this amazing. Like, isn't that pretty? Anyway, so I just journaled about that whole take a deeper look on this page. And then over here stuck this picture, which was actually from the back cover of one of the Daphne's diaries. So I just cut it out and stuck it in. And on this page, I just journaled about that story, which I've already shared in a video, on the Peacock Journal video, where this two guys went to this beach mission program that I was part of, and yeah, I was running the teens group, and it was their first time there, and I just went on and on about the peacock and how amazing it was, and it's where I saw God. And the two boys were unsure about, like, they thought they believed in God, but they weren't sure because they couldn't see him, and they didn't know how God could speak to people. So I was just saying, well, one area I see God speaking to me is through the peacock, because it's just so beautiful. And when I had some pictures that I printed out and of nature and as examples of places where we could see God, and that's the one I picked up was the peacock, and I was just waving around. I was going on and raving on about this peacock, and it had never occurred to me before how amazing it was. Like, I liked it, but in that moment it just hit me, whoa, it's so amazing. And then I put it down. I was just like, oh, I don't know, ignore me, because I thought I was just rambling ridiculously. But then as soon as I said, okay, now you can choose a picture of where you might see God, quick as a flash, this boy picks up the peacock, and I'm like, oh, whoa, okay, why'd you pick that one up? And his brother was laughing and said it was his favourite bird. I mean, favourite animal. And you should have seen the look. I looked at his brother, and the look that he gave me. It was like looking into a mirror. The amazement in his eyes was like, I was like, I'm glad I'm not the only one amazed, because it was just like we looked at each other. It was this moment of, whoa, God is amazing. And yeah, I said to him, well, that's just God speaking to you right there. And he said to me, I know. And just amazement in his voice and in his eyes. It's just like crazy. Anyway, so that's that story. And that's where I've got up to in my journal so far. So that is how I'm using it. I'm using it to document major memories, I suppose, or major things that really speak to me. So I will go back and fill in this one about my dog, and I will share that in a later video. And then hopefully I will have also filled out some more pages, and I will come back and share the stories behind them as well, and give you a look at my pages. And yeah, I hope that inspires you to, I don't know, journal, or if you already journal, I don't know, start a journal, journal creatively. I love this style. Like, I'm actually getting used to this because I usually just journal straight, just writing, and so to stick in different things, photos, and already have pages with stuff in it, and to make flaps and flips and pockets and things, that's kind of a little new to me. I kind of did some of that stuff, like scrapbooking style journaling throughout my life, but not in the junk journal style. So I'm getting used to it, and playing around with it. And what I think I've come to the conclusion of is, like before I was saving this because I didn't want to ruin it, but and I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I'm very planned. Like, I like to know exactly how I'm going to use pages before I come to them, that kind of thing, and what the journal is going to be before I use it. But I think what I just have to do is, because I'm still pretty new to junk journaling, like the only junk journals that I've actually filled out are the ones that are for my year, and all I do for that is just document major moments from each year. So I haven't actually done like daily journaling in a junk journal before, or something like this. So I was a little daunted to begin with, but what I've come to the conclusion of is I'm just going to go for it now. Let's just go for it and not worry about mistakes, and not worry if things aren't in order, or if things aren't in the same kind of category, because that's what I wanted. I wanted a journal just for one kind of category, like one for inspiration, one for memories, and one for lessons or something. And this has already turned into a bit of a mishmash, like there's no lesson here. This is kind of a fun memory. This one was a big lesson. This one was just a fun memory. That one was a lesson. So there's kind of a mix already in here, and I'm just going to run with it. And like this one here, there's not really going to be a lesson. It's just going to be a good memory that I really wanted to record. So I'm just going to have a play and use the pages and just see what happens, and that will hopefully help me in my junk journal journey, knowing how to use other journals and knowing how, I want to break it up, whether it is all just random or one designated to one thing and another designated to another, if that makes sense. So I really kind of just want to find my junk journaling style in terms of writing and how to use different journals. So let me know in the comments how you use your journals. Do you use like one journal for everything, or do you separate them out into different things? So that might inspire me and help me. And just let me know your thoughts, and if you like it. And I will be back tomorrow with a pretty exciting video. August is going to be a fun month, but I don't want to give anything away right now. Just stay tuned for tomorrow is all I can say. So awesome. I'll see you then. Bye.